All right, friends, it's T-Man. We're back again with the Bombaclot himself, Jason Blaha, Bombaclot man, the gym lifting, recruiting, fitness slave, the Rastaman himself, Yaman. We're going to do a reaction video today to Blaha's video. Blaha says high intensity versus high volume for gains. High intensity versus high volume for gains. Well, high intensity. Remember that word, high intensity.
High intensity versus high volume has been one of the biggest debates in the bodybuilding and lifting world since the 1980s. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. I thought I would chat with you guys and gals.
But if you're adapted, you're not getting any more gains. So you can't be adapted to your exercises to try to get myofibrillar gains. But if he's talking about sarcoplasmic, high volume, intensity with volume in sarcoplasmic, okay. That would be sarcoplasmic gains. Well, let's do this really quick in the beginning so we don't have any confusion here. Okay, so yes, well, a computer will tell you, yes, the intensity and duration of exercise. Intensity and duration, he says volume. Intensity and duration of exercise are both factors that contribute to muscle damage. They can, providing you're not adapted. So here's the thing from PubMed, okay? Delayed onset muscle soreness, treatment, strategies, and performance. So they're going to tell you here, cited at 2187. So we know they're telling you strategies not to get damaged muscles. Delayed onset soreness is associated with damaged muscles, okay? So they're trying to tell you how not to get it, how to avoid it as an athlete. How not to get muscle damage to grow muscles. Because as an athlete, if you're into performance, then you don't want to build any more muscle. You definitely don't want to build anymore. You don't want to get damaged. Delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS, is a familiar experience for the athlete or novice athlete. See, athlete and novice athletes can get DOMS, damaged. Symptoms can range from muscle tenderness to severe debilitating pain. Yeah, it will take you out. The mechanisms, treatment strategies, and the impact of athletic performance remain uncertain, of course. Despite the high incidence of DOMS, there is a high incidence of DOMS, and that's how athletes get really bad damage, and then they need surgeries or whatever else. DOMS is most prevalent at the beginning of the sporting season, of course, because you went away from the whole sporting season. When athletes are returning to training following a period of reduced activity, DOMS is also common when athletes are first introduced to certain types of activities, regardless of the time of year. Yeah, it's always like that because it's what it's going through is a repair and a remodeling, so it prevents from any more damage. It adapts from any more damage. That's what muscles do. They don't build muscles. They build muscle to repair and remodel so that they're resilient from further assaults of getting any more damage. Get it? To make you into a nice, comfortable lifting slave, athletic slave. Get it? Man, you understand me, dude? But you as a bodybuilder, for some reason, these bodybuilders, they want to build a lot of muscle. Okay. And there's some athletes too. They want to build some more type 2 muscle fibers so they can be a beast, like those people with the AC3 acted gene, that gene, AC3 gene. So they want to be like them, competing with them and being even better than them, possibly. I don't know. My experience tells me yes, because I've gone through this a couple of decades ago. Anyways, so they tell you here, DOMS is common, okay, athletes. Eccentric activities induce micro-injury. See? Eccentric activities induce what? Micro-injury. And what's micro-injury associated with? Muscle growth at a greater frequency and severity than other types of muscle actions. Of course, than other types, yeah. The intensity and duration of exercise are also important factors in DOMS. Onset, sure. Up to 6 hypothesized theories have been proposed. I already know, I got experience, so I don't really give a shit about their hypothesis. For the mechanisms of DOMS, I already know what it is. Namely, lactic acid, muscle spasm, connective tissue damage. Yeah, connective tissue damage. Isn't that what you guys want to do? Connective tissue damage to build more connective tissue and all that? Muscle damage, that's the other one. There's connective tissue and muscle damage. Well, according to science, connective tissue takes a lot longer to repair and remodel than muscle damage. Now, as far as I know, maybe muscles they repair the shortest time. If you're already, how should I put it, an experienced athlete, then maybe it could be 5 days. But really, it's the connective tissue that you want to go to the seventh day. You want to go to the seventh day for the connective tissue because it usually takes longer. Does muscle repair in 5 days? Well, science will say something about 5 days. Okay, I can't tell you that for sure. I know on the fifth day, the pain is gone on the fifth day, right? From the last day that I worked out, if I ever got this damage, right? It repaired and remodeled a lot stronger now. But as far as the connective tissue, that's got to take a little bit longer. So really, honestly, 7 days to be safe, 7 days. Before you come back to try to damage them again. Okay, whatever. However, an integration of two or more theories is likely to explain muscle soreness. DOMS can affect athletic performance by causing a what? Reduction in joint range and motion, shock attenuation, and peak torque. Of course. Alterations in muscle sequencing and recruitment patterns. That's the reason why you want to get as many of these adaptations as possible if you're a professional sports person. And with that adaptation comes what? Type 2 muscle fibers. Yeah, making you faster and stronger. Get it? You are now faster and stronger, and now you're more resistant to getting this damage as an athlete. And so those who get it, who haven't gone through it and get it in a sporting event, you'll beat them. Get it? Because you're not going to get damaged. Get it? And you're going to be also faster and stronger. And a bunch of stuff. Okay, whatever, dude. You get the picture. So alterations, muscle sequencing, recruitment patterns also occur, causing unaccustomed stress to be placed on the muscle. Ligaments and tendons. Of course, these compensatory mechanisms may increase the risk of further injury, and a premature return to sports is attempted. A number of treatment strategies have been introduced to help alleviate the severity of DOMS and to restore the maximal function of muscles as rapidly as possible. Okay, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, man. You get the point. I'm just talking about the beginning stuff. And so they tell you soreness, whatever, DOM symptoms, whatever. Peaks, whatever. There's impairment and or training disruption. There's still many unanswered questions about DOMS potential, whatever future. Yeah, there's many things. We already know what it's associated with. We're not stupid. Eccentric exercises or novel activities should be introduced progressively over a period of 1 to 2 weeks. Yeah. It should be if you don't want to be damaged, if you don't want to build any muscle or get damaged, which will take you out of your event or whatever. So what they're saying here is, they say here duration. They say duration and what was it? Duration, intensity and duration. Sorry, intensity and duration. Remember that's a muscle damage. Now the one that he's talking about, volume. So let's see that. 6 weeks. So you as a trained athlete now coming in, now you're trained. Now you're trained and you're doing something with high volume resistance training like Blaha training in trained young men is largely attributed to what? Sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. This is a real test, dude. This is NCBI and PubMed. You can see the longer version, okay? So this is a real study, bro. Get it? They just told you what kind of muscle you built here. Sarcoplasmic muscle. And what is it? It's our look. Hold on a second. So what is sarcoplasmic hypertrophy? Is a kind of artificial muscle growth. There you go, essentially. There, you see that? You're training the muscle for no other reason than to increase the size visually by increasing the amount of fluid it can hold. That's your training if you're adapted. Now, if you're going in and training for adaptations, it has to be for adaptations and not adapted. Otherwise, you'll be like Blaha. Blaha doesn't know anything about bodybuilding. He doesn't understand the adaptation process.
Yeah, a little bit about this today. All right, so it's obvious for people who watch me that I generally these days fall into the intensity camp. However, I do have a couple clients who we train with very, very high volumes. So I understand.
Yeah, he has He has people that are adapted, they're adapting to lifting a heavy weight, but they're not getting any more muscular adaptations. Get it? Because they're training what? High volume. And they are there adapted to their exercises.
The arguments of both sides can understand.
The two are totally different. How you get an adaptation in muscle and how you get an adaptation in lifting just a heavy weight. Can they be separated? Yes. But can you get both of them together? Of course you can. If you move for muscular adaptations, then you get stronger automatically in lifting weights, and that's permanent. It stays. Now, if you are adapted to the muscular adaptations, but you're adapting to lifting a heavy weight, getting myocytic androgen receptors, recruiting motor units, the nerves, the nervous system, and all that, then you're just moving for lifting a heavy weight. And that's not permanent strength. That strength can go away very quickly, can go away very fast. You go away from the gym.
And why people will do both. Now, in my case,
now, why do I say that it's permanent when it comes to myofibrillar growth? Because the motor units have somewhere to reside. The new motor units you just increased by getting something tangible, and the myocytic receptors have somewhere to bind as well, and a bunch of stuff, and the hormones to bind to those new myofibrillars, and yada 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 yada.
So you guys will see me doing really 6 to 9 sets per muscle group. That's it. That's what I do. Now, some muscles get more.
He's just a lifting slave.
More than others. And of course, when I say that, I'm not counting, pull-ups and things towards biceps.
Sure, yeah.
So, I mean, that's literally, 6 sets for side delts, 6 sets for pecs, biceps, all those things. So, all of that being said, then you'll see rest, pause, and a lot of sets to failure. Because if we're going to go that route, and people are going to go down, as low as 5 sets, and I have seen clients of mine make great gains on 5 sets.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I've seen them make phenomenal gains. I've also had clients who completely stalled, who were doing 20, 25 sets, who came to me, who were still even novice lifters. And I took them down to 10 sets per muscle group. And then they started magically making gains, started hitting PRs, their bench press started going up, their squats started going up.
They started making gains. Their squat went up. Their this went up, their that went up, but they didn't make any muscular gains. You understand me? Everything else went up. The lifting of the weights went up. They adapted to lifting the weights, but they never got any more muscular adaptations. What a waste of time.
Started gaining muscle, they started losing fat. Okay.
No, they didn't. They didn't gain any muscle. They're adapted to these fucking exercise. They didn't gain shit. They got fat though. They got sarcoplasmic. They got fat.
So
they even look fat.
Tend to be in the camp of, if you can train hard, I think most people are going to do better on higher intensity. Now, there's some caveats there.
I wouldn't disagree. You'll do good with high intensity and duration if you're moving for a muscular adaptation and not an adaptation in lifting a stupid heavy weight.
Particularly, it's important from the perspective of what? Good form and the ability to actually push yourself.
Good form has nothing to do with damaging muscle fibers. Maybe you want a good form because you have a weak body, so you need it with your skinny little body lifting a heavy weight. You're going to need good form because you're going to be weak, and you may get some catastrophic injury. Yeah, because you're weak. Now, why does your body muscularly repair and remodel a lot stronger? Why is it after an adaptation? Why? To make you stronger. Yeah. With every bout of adaptation, you get stronger. With every unaccustomed bout of exercise, a week later, you are much bigger and stronger. Your muscles are stronger. Yeah. But with every trained bout of exercise, you never got bigger and stronger. You just got better at lifting a heavy weight, broski. Yeah.
Have the idea that it just takes less time. The the average person, if they're just trying to get jacked and fit, doesn't need to be spending 2 hours a day working out. They just don't.
Look,
Okay?
man, lifting a heavy weight isn't based on exercise-induced muscle damage. That training is not based on that. It's not based on that at all. And as far as him talking about intensity and duration to lift a heavy weight, man, you could have just come in the gym and do 3 reps per set. Even 1 rep per set heavy. Just lift the weight. Try to lift the heaviest weight in the gym for 1 rep, and just keep coming in there and do 1 rep sets. Do a bunch of sets for 1 rep and leave. That's all. That's for stupid people. Stupid people go in the gym and they want to lift a heavy weight. The intelligent people are all trying to build muscle. They really are trying, because they know it'll be permanent. They know they'll have permanent strength. The asshole people, they want to lift a heavy weight for 1 rep, like what's his name, Alex Leonidas, and a bunch of other these fucking influencers online. These assholes, like this asshole. This asshole, he wants to lift a heavy weight. Well, he's already gone beyond that. That he's still doing that. That 1 rep fucking lift a heavy weight off the floor, to pretend he's strong, but he's small and weak. Because ain't no big people in the street are afraid of a small, skinny guy like him, dude. That can lift a heavy weight. You want to know why? Because they don't see what you lift in the street, and they don't give a shit. They see size as being menacing. Size is menacing. Police are scared of big people. That's why they bring a lot of police. They're scared of big people. People are scared of big people. They'll always say they'll always equate him with being what? A big, strong guy. They never say a little strong guy. They never say, look at the little strong guy. They say the big, strong guy. The only time they would ever say a little strong guy is where he would have to come out somewhere and show you that he could lift something heavy off the floor. And then people will call him a what? Oh, a small, strong guy. You understand me? That's hilarious, but they don't see what you lift in the street.
Clients who train for 45 minutes 3 times a week.
Yeah, okay.
40-something-year-old guys who bench 315 plus, deadlift 500 plus.
That's great. They deadlift and they bench and all that, but guess what? They never built any muscle.
Big, strong dudes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like how he said big, strong dudes. They're fat. They're big and fat, strong dudes. They want to get big, so what do? They eat a lot of carbohydrates and they get fat. So they're all just big and fat. They're just good at lifting the heavy weight, but they're not strong.
They're literally in the gym less than 3 hours per week. Maybe do some other cardio on the side.
What do you think's stronger? A 250-pound guy with like 5% body fat and he's got muscle at 250 pounds, or a fat guy, a big fat guy, 250 pounds, who's got like fucking, I don't know, 60% body fat? Who do you think's stronger?
We should be doing some cardio and conditioning.
And they both lift weights. They go to a gym. Which one is stronger to you?
I could make the case for a lot of people of we don't even need huge amounts of cardio unless you want the list and you need it for the calorie burn and the steps.
Yeah.
Come in and do some high intensity cardio. I mean, I could literally make a case for 30 minutes of conditioning work a week.
Yeah.
With 3 45-minute workouts will get most people in phenomenal shape. No reason you can't bench 300 pounds doing that.
Yeah, okay. There's no reason you shouldn't bench 300 pounds and blah, blah, blah.
I got 10, 15 pull-ups.
Yeah, I did all those things when I was young. I thought I was stupid when I was young. I thought I was strong. You have high hormones and everything as a teenager, especially you're developing more now in your late teens. High hormones, everything, estrogen receptors, nervous system, everything's on the go. And the first thing you want to do is lift the heaviest weight in the gym. You got to do stupid stuff. The worst thing that can happen to you is if you injure your spine or your back. That'll come back to haunt you down the line when you get older. Believe me, all these injuries will haunt you.
Okay? That is my mindset. It is totally doable, but you have to actually train hard. And if you can't push sets to failure, this is a problem. And I'm going to make the case for the volume on the other end.
Sure.
If you can't push sets to failure.
Look at Blaha. What's the matter with him?
And I mean, I literally had in a live stream the other day, someone said, oh man, but you know, what about the adrenaline? It's like, I've come.
This is like a pure concentric exercise. There's no eccentric here involved. The best exercise is behind the neck and from the front fucking presses, man. This is bullshit flying.
And thought I hit failure and then saw my gym crush walk by and cranked out
But again, it's good for sarcoplasmic hypertrophy if you want to get the pump. Yeah, pump up your shoulders.
3 more reps. Okay? That's impossible. I want to be clear.
He's so adapted to all these exercises, he just does them over and over again every single day. If he would just take some time off and come back, well, at least then, his body would be kind of like somewhat unadapted. And then, he can focus on trying to bring back this damage, but he's too stupid. He's stubborn, and he says damage doesn't build muscles, but okay, whatever. He thinks lifting builds muscles, adapted lifting builds muscles. Yeah, sarcoplasmic. But muscle damage, that builds real muscles.
Hit muscle failure and had no pause, and someone just as you're hitting failure literally puts a pew-pew to your head.
He's a failure. I think he just did a live stream. What was it, yesterday during the Olympia? He said something about plants and I think it's anti-nutrient. They are anti-nutrient. It says that in science. Anti-nutrient. Yeah, they talk about it. He's really stupid. He doesn't understand anything. They didn't say you were going to completely die from it, but it'll make you dysfunctional over time. We're a lot larger than a cat or a dog, so if you feed them an avocado, they may die. But as a human being, we're a lot larger, bigger animal than a cat or a dog. So how does it affect us? Not as much.
And says you're dead if you don't crank out more reps. If you can crank out more reps, you don't train hard. You have no concept of training.
If you don't crank out more reps, you don't train hard. Oh, okay. That's the idea. Yeah.
Training hard. You have no concept of training hard. You don't ever train.
Yes. Since when did any person in this world that worked hard ever get anywhere working hard? Got cut off there.
Recovery has to be on point. And I have found with clients,
Right.
the clients who can do 20
He's found clients. He has clients.
sets a week
Okay.
or more,
Yeah.
all sleep a minimum of 8 hours every night,
Oh.
bare minimum baseline, oftentimes more.
They do they?
They don't eat junk food.
Okay.
They don't drink alcohol. They don't take recreational drugs. Okay, so that's going to tell you the things right there. They don't eat any table sugar. They don't consume any alcohol, ever. Almost never. They sleep 8 to 10 hours every night. They handle active recovery, hot baths, massages, saunas. Okay, they eat higher protein than normal. All right. If you're going to go the high volume route, especially with the higher reps, you have to live your life like that. Otherwise, you will not recover. In my opinion, you will gain less muscle. And I've seen it. People who don't have perfect lifestyles who try to do 20 sets of muscle group, especially with the higher reps, they don't recover. They make bad gains unless they perfect all those things. Now, if they perfect those things, it works great. Then you have the added
They don't recover. They make bad gains, but they're adapted. There's no more gains. Man, I don't know what's going on.
benefit of extra conditioning.
Whatever.
Extra calorie burn, extra fat loss. It can be really good for physique competitors, people who are trying to get really lean.
Sure.
But you have to optimize your lifestyle.
Okay.
Okay,
I would never take advice from this guy on how to build muscle, man. And I don't know who's doing it, but there's a lot of people online doing Blaha's 5x5, and they all failed. Remember that? What was that black guy that was on here? Remember that dude, whatever? He would talk about Blaha. I forgot that channel name now. You know, you forget these people now. Remember they used to do the 5x5 Blaha. He just dropped off like the planet. Like his channel, I don't even see him anymore. Never pops up anymore. I can't remember his name. He had this weird music playing, whatever, Officer Jam or something. It's a black guy that bought Blaha's system, 5x5. All these people 5x5. They're all failed.
have to optimize your lifestyle to get any benefit, and most of the benefit from it is
All of them failed. I remember this guy, Max Strasny. He even said he followed the Blaha 5x5 too. He's failed too as well, Max Strasny. Nobody watches his channel anymore.
not extra muscle. It is usually the conditioning side. It's conditioning and the cardiovascular and
He went to do a bodybuilding show, really skinny. He failed too as well at that.
the fat loss end. That's the real benefit, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
You don't get any more jacked. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
See you in the next video, friends. Tell what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Ciao, friends. That was ridiculous.